very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the show that rewards obscure answers rather than the obvious ones. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
I'm Hannah, this is my mum Linda, and we're from County Durham.
Couple number two.
I'm Gina, and this is my husband Paul, and we're from Perth in Scotland.
Couple number three.
I'm Craig, this is my lovely wife Heather, and we're from Bybury in Gloucestershire.
And finally, couple number four.
I'm Paul, this is my well-dressed friend Caius, and we're from Harrow.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. A very, very warm welcome to Pointless. It's terrific to have you all here. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. Taking some time away from his native northeast, it's my Pointless friend. It is Chris Ramsey.
Wow.
You see?
Wow.
Good.
You went there.
The calibre of gag you're going to be getting from me.
I thought it was outstanding.
Yes,
and I loved
good.
it.
Thank
and that
you.
might be the first time you've said Howie in your life.
Yes.
Even though you're from where I'm from.
Yeah, how are you? How are
Not a lot of people can do the Geordie accent.
No, you have to grow
obviously-
up there. You have to grow up there to be able to speak it proper.
Oh, it's beautiful, that.
That's right. People always know I'm from Northumberland. I'm not a
I'm
Geordie.
slightly intimidated when you do this. It's
Aye,
actually
aye.
making us feel really uncomfortable.
Wait,
I'd like you to stop.
wait till I speak like that, which is how they speak where I come from, like that. I do it. It's all in the throat.
It's really horrible. I don't like it at all.
How are you, Chris? Lovely to have you
I'm
here.
wonderful, sir. How
Yeah,
are you?
I'm very well. Really mustn't grumble. Now, Indira and Karen got through to the final last time, and I'm afraid they didn't win the jackpot, which means we are adding another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £3,750. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Now, the player with the highest score at the end of each round will be eliminated. So your task is to make sure you are not that pair, and you do it by keeping your scores as low as you possibly can. Very, very best of luck to all four pairs. Our first category today is colourful questions. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns red things. Red things, Chris.
We're going to give you 7 clues on each pass that all relate to the word red. Please give us the answers to the clues that you think the fewest people got. Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Let us reveal our board of clues to red things. Here we are, 7 clues. Decade in which red rum won the Grand National a record 3 times. Singer-songwriter who released the 2012 chart-topping album Red, which he re-recorded in 2021. The name of the reindeer famed for his red nose in the story and the Christmas song. Danish actor who played the titular Red Sonja in the 1985 film alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger. Premier League football team nicknamed the Red Devils. Prophet who led the Israelites through the Red Sea after the waters were parted in the book of Exodus. And name of the London Underground line that is coloured red on the tube map. There we are. Hannah, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here with us. Tell us all about yourself.
So, yes, I live in Durham, and I work in HR for a law firm in the northeast.
Very good indeed. What do you do for fun, Hannah?
So, most of the time is spent looking after my rescue dog, so she's a Romanian rescue dog, so...
What sort of dog is yours? Is she just a...
She's a mixture of everything.
A lovely
yeah.
mix of dogs.
Yeah.
And where are you in Durham? Are you in County Durham? Are you in Durham itself?
No, County Durham, so about 10 minutes outside of Durham, so...
Very nice. OK, Hannah, the red things. Which would you like to go for?
So I know a couple, but they're probably quite obvious. I'm going to have to go for the singer-songwriter and say Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift for the singer-songwriter with the album Red. How many of our 100 people said Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift is absolutely right. Look, and down it goes. How surprising. 16 for Taylor Swift. I think you got off quite lightly there.
I know.
Yes, very good answer. Red was her first UK #1 album, and then she re-recorded it, and that version became her 8th UK #1 album.
Wow. Thanks so much, Chris. Paul, and Paul J, if you please. A letter after your name. Paul, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm Paul. I'm retired now. Do a part-time taxi job, taking vulnerable kids to school in the mornings and pick them up in the afternoon and take them home again.
Well, that's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nice sort of-
it is nice, yeah.
Gets you out of the house. What time do you have to be up to do that?
Oh, we do get up early, about
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning, which is
Well,
early
that
for
is
me.
early.
And drop them off at school at 9,
Right, you are.
And then I sit about and do nothing until 3, until I
play
go and pick them
golf.
up.
3. Are you home for 5:15? That's all I'm caring about.
Every day.
Good. This is good. This is very good indeed. Paul, it's wonderful to have you here. What are you going to go for from our board?
Oh, cheesy peeps. There is a couple there that I do know that are obvious as well, but I'll try the prophet who led the Israelis is Moses.
Moses, says Paul J. Let's see how many of our 100 said Moses. Moses is right. Well, 16 is what Taylor Swift scored. Moses, 61.
Yeah, there's several theories as to why it was called the Red Sea. I thought it was just a name, but one being that there's an algae which occasionally appears and turns the normally blue-green water a reddish-brown colour. So it may have been literally red.
Literally red. I remember being taught that it was a derivation of reed. It was the Reed Sea, because it had lots of reeds. No, that
I'll
became
just
red.
throw this away
No, I
then.
think that's better. I think that's much better. No, that's the sort of nonsense they used to teach us in the 70s. Honestly.
Listen, you did
They just
all right.
made it up.
You did all right.
That is better. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Heather, welcome. Great to have you here from Byberry. This, I believe, is your second show.
Yes.
It is, yes. Tell us a bit more about yourself, Heather.
Well, I was going to talk about my hobby, which one of them is traveling because it changed my life. So I used to come over here quite often to the UK. It's one of my favorite places to visit.
Thank you.
Obviously, I live here now. And 5 years ago, I came with my mother and friend and her mom, so girls and the moms, on the trip. We stayed in this lovely cottage in the Cotswolds. The
Yeah.
owner lived next door, talked a couple of times, very nice. I got back. I'm quite verbose, so I left a very lengthy review. And about 2 weeks later, I got a reply saying, that's the nicest review we've ever gotten.
Ah.
5 years later, I'm here because 2 years after that, I married the owner of the cottage.
Wow.
And we've been married for 3 years.
What?
And I've
Put
lived
that
here
on
3 years.
TripAdvisor. Heavens above, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Didn't
Heather,
see that coming. I didn't.
No.
That little snippet there was better than most romantic comedies I've watched. Well done.
reader, I married him. Heather, what are you going to go for on our board here?
Oh, gosh. He's going to give me a look, but I'm going to try the Danish actor who played Red Sonja, Brigitte Nielsen.
Brigitte Nielsen, says Heather. Shall we see if that's right? How many of our 100 said Brigitte Nielsen? It's right. It's right. He's giving you a look, but it's a good look. Oh, and down he goes to 6. Very well done indeed. 6, featuring a lot in our scores so far.
Yeah, wonderful. Really good answer. Answer was better than the film because it says here that the film was a gigantic flop.
Oh, there we are.
Got to have them.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Kai, colourful Kai, welcome back. Great to have you with us again. Tell us more about yourself, Kai.
Well, I'm really into customizing clothing. I make a lot of patch jackets.
Tell us about a patch jacket. Is that made of lots of different patches?
Put a lot of patches on them.
A lot of patches on them.
And then recently gotten into fabric painting.
Did you paint the fabric
No,
you're wearing?
unfortunately, no. Nothing
Oh,
I've
you should have
made
said,
I
just
could have
lie.
worn
Just
on
say
it.
yes. I did.
Yeah, I did.
So what's the most ambitious thing you've made and customised so far?
Well, the jacket that I wore on the way here is the first one I made, and it's almost completely covered at this point. And then I've painted the sleeves with some flames lately.
What happens when you put it in the wash?
It washes. It's fine.
I told you, you've customised that shirt by affixing the word Kai to it, which I think is terrific. Very bespoke. Now, Kai, you're the last person to have this board. Would you like to talk us through it? Fill in all our blanks.
The name of the reindeer would obviously be Rudolph. Not sure on the Premier League football team. And the underground line is the central line. Be between like 3 decades for the Grand National. And I think I think I'll have to go with the underground line. I don't think I can risk it.
OK, you're going to say the central line for the underground. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the central line. Well, 61 is our high score. Look at that, Kai, you pass it. Oh, look, down it goes. For goodness sake, 27. That's not bad at all, 27 for the central line. Well done.
Not bad at all. The longest journey, little fact for you, the longest journey you can take on the central line is from Epping in Essex to West Ruislip. It's 34 miles and it takes 1 hour and 25 minutes.
Oh.
And as we all know, 34 miles in London takes 34 years.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's incredible. Stick with the tube, kids. Kai, you are very right to avoid Rudolph. That was a massive scorer of 76. Xander, top one. Do you know the decade?
70s.
Yes,
Well, yes,
35.
surely.
Nice
Oh.
one. And the Premier League, you must know Red Devils.
This would be the Manchester United.
Manchester United, indeed. 47 there. Good stuff.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. I can tell you, Heather, 6, the very best score of the past, by quite a margin. So very well done indeed, Heather and Craig. Hannah and Linda then coming in at 16, then 27 is where we find Kai and Paul K. And then up to 61, where we find Paul J and Gina. I mean, you're a little bit ahead there, Gina, but nothing that you can't put right with a brilliant Gina-style answer on the next board. So good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more clues that relate to the word red onto the board, and here they come. Planet in the solar system that is known as the Red Planet, lead vocalist of the soul and pop band Simply Red, name of the red character in the classic game of Cluedo, surname of the artist who is the subject of the play Red and whose signature style was rectangular swathes of colour on huge canvases, US city in which the Major League Baseball team known as the Red Sox are based, Danish author of the classic fairy tale The Red Shoes, and actor who played Dave Lister, the last human being alive in the sitcom Red Dwarf. There we are. Paul Kay, welcome back for the final time. Will you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, so one thing that I do like to do in my spare time is write some short stories.
Very good. When you say short, what kind of length do you generally go for?
Usually like between 2,000 and 4,000 words.
Yeah, that's good. So how many have you done so far?
Short stories. I mean, I've been doing them for a few years, so I've lost count.
Are you compiling them? Are you sending them off to publishers?
Nah, they're mostly for myself.
Oh, but that's fun.
I publish the ones that I find more silly and fun online.
That's good. And do you get a nice bit of feedback?
Yeah, because I mean, I only publish the ones that I find the funniest there. So
Yeah.
usually people are like, what is this doing on this website for serious fiction?
I think all serious fiction should be funny somewhere. Should have a sort of a bit of humour at its heart. Anyway, listen, you are on 27, Paul, which means 33 or less gets you into the next round. You've got a lovely new board there. What would you like to go for?
Okay, I think the only one that I know would be the planet in the solar system. Yeah, I'd have to go for that. Mars.
Mars. OK, well, here is your red line. Not too bad. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Mars. Mars is right. Oh, this is good. Not bad there, Paul. I think 66, taking your total up to 93.
Yes, it's iron oxide on the surface of Mars that gives it its rusty red colour.
Thanks so much, Chris. Now, Craig, welcome back. Show 2. Tell us more about yourself, Craig.
Well, I'm retired from my full-time role, which was in the renewable energy field. We live in a listed cottage, an 18th century listed cottage in Bibury, and a lot of my time is spent renovating it and improving it.
Are you also just working systematically through, are you?
Yeah, Heather and I both, it's a passion.
Yeah.
She does a lot in the garden. She's built some dry stone walls.
This is lovely.
I know. But inside, it's a matter really of exposing the character. So,
I see, right.
you know, floorboards that have been carpeted over,
Yes.
we've removed the carpet and then
Very nice.
renovated the floorboards.
How long do you think it will be before it is fully renovated? Or is it just, is it like painting the Forth Bridge?
I think it could be never ending.
Yeah.
Heather's always finding new things to do.
What grade's it? What grade listed?
It's grade 2.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Grade 1. Stay away
Grade
from
1
grade 1.
star over here.
Paperwork nightmare,
Yeah.
grade 1. You want to stay away from grade 1.
Craig, what are you going to go for?
Well, I know 2 answers. One's a little bit more risky, and as Heather's had such a good start, I'm going to go with the easier one, which is Mick Hucknall.
Mick Hucknall
from Simply Red.
From Simply Red. There we are, the lead vocalist of Simply Red. Here is your red line. Lovely and high. Look at that, Craig. Let's see if we can get you below that with Mick Hucknall. Very well done indeed. You are through. And down against 43, taking your total up to 49. Very good.
Wow, and he's given the name Red because of the colour of his hair. And one of the earliest names for the band was just Red until they changed it to Simply Red.
Thank you very much indeed. Gina, welcome to Pointless. It's lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Gina.
I live in Perth. I'm semi-retired. I work with Paul. escorting the vulnerable children to school, which is just part-time, which suits us both fine.
What sort of lovely things do you get up to?
Well, I just like to do a variety of things. I've sailed off the Forth Rail Bridge for charity.
Wow.
Wow.
And I went up my helicopter. Paul gave me for a Christmas present. Just weird things.
I think the abseiling bit wouldn't scare me as much as going up. You've got to go up onto the Forth Road Bridge in order to abseil down. How do you
That
get
was
up
the
there?
hardest part.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, abseiling's fine. You just sort of let yourself
It was amazing.
down. You know, was it a keen wind on the Firth of Forth that
It
day?
was raining. It was windy. It was a typical Scottish day.
There we are. Now, Gina, you are on 61. We are looking at a score of 31 or less from you to keep you in the game.
There's a couple there that are risky, so I'll go for the name of the character in Cluedo is Miss Scarlet.
Miss Scarlet, says Gina. OK, here is your red line. Can we get you below that with Miss Scarlet? Miss Scarlet is right.
Wow.
Gets you through.
Wow.
Just below the scarlet line. There it is, 28. Very well done indeed.
I was
Takes
gonna
your
go
total
for
up to
the top now as
89.
well.
You are in round 2.
Nice work. I have never played Cluedo in my life. Never had a single game of Cluedo. Is that weird?
Are you missing it at all? Is there a Cluedo-shaped gap in your life, do you think,
There's only
Chris?
one way to find out, isn't
Yeah,
there?
I don't know.
I could
I've
play it tonight, it
played
could change my life.
I don't think it was ever quite as fun as it was cracked up to be, because it's all
Really?
like a murder mystery.
Yeah.
But actually, it all comes down to quite complicated logic, and I just can't be doing with that.
Surely you'd be great at it.
No, you'd have thought. No. You have to take notes and things. You have to
Oh,
concentrate.
No,
Nah,
that's not a game. That's not a game.
nah.
That's work.
That's work. Is exactly what that is. Exactly. Now, Linda, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here, Linda. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm retired now. I've retired twice, actually. The first time I retired from the NHS, I was a nurse in the NHS for about 35 years or so.
Goodness, yes.
And then I went back into work and I worked for a leading cancer charity as an advisor.
And now you really are properly retired.
Eventually I thought, you know, I've taken enough runs at it now.
Enough's enough.
I've got to go for it. Yeah.
Quite right. Now, Linda, you've been set up so well. Hannah on 16, which means 76 or less gets you into the next round. Would you like to talk us through the board?
I think I know that it's the Boston Red Sox. I think it's probably Hans Christian Andersen, but I'm not sure enough. And I think Dave Lister was played by Craig Charles. But I'm going to go for the Boston Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. Here is your red line. We can. Down to go to 36. Very well done indeed. Taking your total up to 52.
Very good. Not an original name. They adapted the name from the one used by Boston's first professional baseball team, the Boston Red Stockings, which sounds like what they get called when their mom's telling them off. Yeah, good answer, 36. And you got 2 of the others right as well. They were actually better scores. Starting from the bottom here, Dave Lister was indeed played by Craig Charles. That was 19. That was a good one. And yeah, Hans Christian Andersen just above there. That was 21. Xander, do you know this last one?
I would go for Rothko.
You would be right.
Ah,
You'd be right.
splendid.
And that's an absolute banger as well. That's
Look at
3.
that.
There we are. It's almost like you work here.
Yes. Almost. Almost. If I picked up everything, though, I'd know everything. It'd be amazing.
Your head would be like that.
I'd know moons of Saturn. I know all the periodic table. Anyway, thank you very much indeed, Chris. That brings us to the end of our first round. It means we have to say goodbye to our first pair. Oh, no, Paul and Kai, I hadn't seen this coming. This is your 3rd show. It means you have to put your accessorised jacket covered in patches back on, Kai, and walk off to the sunset. It's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. Paul and Kai. For the remaining 3 pairs, though, it is now time for round 2. Oh, well done, everybody. We made it through that first round with flying colours, especially Heather, our lowest individual scorer. Very well done indeed there, Bridget Nielsen. Heather and Craig, in fact, our lowest combined scorers, so fantastic work on that far podium. Terrific. Welcome to round 2. Our category for it is works of fiction. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Words of 4 letters or more in titles of novels and novellas by Stephen King, Chris.
Love this round, by the way. Very excited about this. We're looking for any word of 4 letters or more that appears in the title of any work listed as a novel or novella on the official website of Stephen King. These are works which have been published as of the end of August 2023. This also includes works written under his pen name, Richard Bachman, as well as works for which he's named as a co-writer, but it doesn't include numbers, even if they're written as words.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris. So, Hannah, what are you going to go for?
So this is not great for me. Never read any of his books. I'm trying to think of films, and I think possibly I'm going to go for Sleep.
Sleep, says Hannah. Should we see how many of our 100 said sleep? Sleep is right. Hannah, very well done indeed. Sleep is a pointless answer. That, being a pointless answer, adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to a lovely round £4,000. Scores you nothing, sets the bar impeccably low.
Wow, yeah. You know, now and then you're in the pub and you're playing pool at the pool table and someone comes up and goes, oh, I'm not very good, and they absolutely whop you. You just did a pointless version of that. The novel with Sleep in the title features the recurring character Dan Torrance.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Gina, are you a Stephen King fan?
I've read loads of his books. That's the worst part, though, because too many to choose from. I might go for Redemption.
Redemption, says Gina. Shall we see how many of our 100 said Redemption?
I should have said sorry. That's wrong. Oh, no.
Very much not wrong. Well, nothing's the only score we have at the moment. That's all we have to compare this against. This goes down to 5. Very well done indeed, Gina. 5 for Redemption.
So many books. Redemption appears in the title of a Stephen King novella, which was made into a feature film in 1994, starring Morgan Freeman as Red.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Heather,
Yes.
what are you thinking?
I'm going to piggyback.
Why not?
Shawshank.
Shawshank, says Heather. Shall we see how many of our 100 people said Shawshank? Shawshank is right. 5 is our high score, nothing is our low score. Now, 5 got Redemption, 6 got Shawshank. There we are. Very well done.
So glad you did that, because not saying the other word in the things is it's killing us. It's really, really difficult. Yeah, Shawshank appears in the title of a Stephen King novella that was made into a 1994 film starring Morgan Freeman as the character Red. Well done.
Thank you very much indeed. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. Nothing, Hannah. Very well done indeed. The best score of the pass. Hannah and Linda, you are looking terrific. Then we travel up to 5, where we find Gina and Paul J. And from there, we step up to 6, where we find Heather and Craig. Our low score is in round 1. Craig, can we keep that score low, I wonder, low enough to get you into the head-to-head? Let's hope you're a Stephen King fan. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? So, Craig, we are looking for words of 4 or more letters from the title of a Stephen King novel or novella. You're on 6. You're the high scorers at the moment.
I'm afraid this is a complete nightmare for me. I've got no idea, so I'm just going to have to guess a word.
OK.
Deep.
Deep. Well, listen, Sleep did very well. Let's see how Deep does. You don't get a red line, I'm afraid, as you're the high scorers. But how many of our 100 said Deep? Might it be right? It could be. Oh, no! Not bad, though, as a guess. You know, it could easily have suddenly fallen down to the bottom of the column, but I'm afraid it didn't. It stayed very much at the top. Scores you 100, takes your total up to 106.
Yeah, great guess. I mean, he's got that many books. I imagine most words appear there, but you've been very unlucky there.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Paul, you are on 5. It does not matter what you score. You are through to the next round. Even 100 gets you through.
So glad to hear that, I tell you. I haven't got a Scooby-Doo.
Oh, this is going to be fun. You can fill it.
Great fun.
I'm going to give you a clue. Not Scooby-Doo, but pick a word, any word. Let's see if we can find... This is fun now. All the pressure off.
Seen some films, or I would say Christine.
Christine.
Yeah.
Shall we see if Christine is right? No red line. You're already through. Christine is right. Down against the 7. Very well done indeed. Taking your total up to 12.
Yeah, again, very good. Bang, really good. So Christine is the name of a deadly car with a mind of its own. Yeah, and apparently he got the idea when he saw his odometer on his car changed to 10,000 and wondered what would happen if his car got younger. Imagine living in Stephen King's head for a day.
Fun.
You'd be exhausted.
Oh, exhausting. There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Linda. Linda, you're through, doesn't matter what you score, but Hannah scored nothing. Wouldn't it be nice to have another pointless answer?
I don't think that's going to happen. I was going to go with Christine because it's the only one I could think of. I'm not sure, but I'm going to say Shining.
Shining, says Linda. No red line, you're already through. What happens when we say Shining? Shining, absolutely right. Down he goes to 33, taking your total up to 33.
Yeah, I mean, it's his classic. It's one of the best films ever, in my opinion. And again, what I love about this job is I'm finding out loads of stuff on here. He got the idea for The Shining when him and his wife were the only guests at a hotel just before it closed up for the winter.
Wow.
Just like the beginning of the book. So there was absolutely tons, 80 pointless answers here. So we'll have a look at some of them. Finders from Finders Keepers. Gerald's from Gerald's Game. Gunslinger from The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger. Hayworth. The full title of the novella was Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. The film dropped the Rita Hayworth bit, which is obviously the poster that he hides the... Oh, no spoilers. I don't want to spoil it in case anyone hasn't seen it. Insomnia, 1990s novel. Policeman, The Library Policeman. Sleep was from Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining, which is decent as well, to be fair. Waste from The Dark Tower, The Wastelands. And Werewolf from Cycle of the Werewolf.
Wow. And that's just we barely scratched the surface
I mean,
there.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you could fill a library with these books. And well done if you got one at home. There was loads.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, that brings us to the end of our second round, and it means we have to say goodbye to our second pair. Oh, I know, from heroes to zeros, I'm afraid, in just one round. Craig and Heather, we say goodbye now, but we'll see you again next time for your third and final attempt at the Pointless Jackpot round. So thank you so much, Craig and Heather. But for our two remaining pairs, it is now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Linda and Hannah, Paul and Gina. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £4,000. But before we play the head-to-head, we get a little chance now to have a bit of fun, see if we can find a couple of pointless answers and add some more money to that jackpot. So here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Britpop albums as they could. Chris.
Yes, you're going to see 6 options. 4 are the titles of UK top 40 albums by bands who were associated with the Britpop scene of the 90s. 2 are scoring, 2 are pointless, 2 are red herrings. Let's have a bit of fun.
Red herrings, that could have been in round 1. Anyway, there we go. Here are 6 possible Britpop albums. Can you find the 2 pointless ones? We have International Velvet, Blurred Wines, Moseley Shoals, His and Hers, Everyone's Got One, Beckwith. What do we think? Anyone know anything?
No, none of them look familiar to me.
In which case, Linda and Hannah, what would you like to nominate as a pointless Britpop album?
We'll go for Moseley Shoals.
OK, very good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Moseley Shoals. Absolutely a Britpop album. Oh, one person remembered that. Now, Paul and Gina.
What do you think?
I think you go, what you said.
Blurred Wines.
Blurred Wines, yep.
You're going to go for Blurred Wines. Should we see how many of our 100 said Blurred Wines? Yeah, not a Britpop album, I'm afraid.
No, you found a red herring there. Basically, in 2023, Blur's bassist, Alex James, launched a sparkling wine called Britpop. So, Blurred Wines, Blurred Wine, Brit... Come on.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. His and Hers was a scoring answer. That was by Pulp. That was 2. International Velvet, if he'd went for that, that was a pointless answer by Catatonia. Xander, 1 is pointless, 1 is a red herring.
I think the red herring is Beckwith, and I think Everyone's Got One is a pointless answer.
Nailed it, yeah. Beckwith is a red herring. The It Girl was a Britpop album by Sleeper, and Tamara Beckwith was one of the so-called It Girls of the 1990s. And Everyone's Got One was an album by Echobelly.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Well, bad luck, we didn't find any pointless answers, but how nice to relive the Britpop era for a moment or two. Let's play the head-to-head. Now, the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot, and you're now allowed to confer before you give your answers. Best of luck to both pairs. Here is our first question, and it's all about savoury baked foods. Chris.
Yes, we're about to show you 5 images of savoury baked foods, along with the alternate letters in their names. I'd like you to identify the foods and tell us which one you think is the most obscure. Good luck, and good luck at home.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 clues to savoury baked foods, and here they come. A, B-T-E-P-E. B, G-U-E-E. C, P-R-P-E. D, S-U-A-E-R-L. And E, S-A-A-O-I-A. There we are. Now then, Linda and Hannah, you get to go first, so feel free to confer.
I don't know. We only know C and D, unfortunately. So we are going to go D and say sausage roll.
You're going to say sausage roll for D. So, Paul and Gina, that board is yours. Would you like to talk us through it?
No.
No,
We only knew those 2 as well. So they go.
take a guess that the first one's a butter pie.
OK.
You want to go for that?
We'll
Because
go for that.
Do you want to go for a butter
Yeah,
pie?
we'll go for a butter pie.
Nice. We have sausage roll and butter pie. Linda and Hannah went for sausage roll for D. Let's see how many of our 100 said sausage roll. Sausage roll is right. Down it goes to 90. 90 for sausage roll. Paul and Gina, meanwhile, have gone for butter pie for A. I mean, it looks lovely and yellowy. Let's find out. Butter pie, might it be? It is a butter pie, and it wins you the point. Down goes 37. Very well done indeed. Paul and Gina, after 1 question, you're up 1-0.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard anyone describe food as it does look lovely and yellowy.
There you go.
I'm really concerned about 2 things on the board here.
Yes.
One, I don't know how 10 people didn't know that that was a sausage roll. And I don't think that's been bitten. I think that's been torn in half.
That's how I eat a sausage roll.
Yeah, just a light grip and just... Grah. Yeah, very good. Butter pie, never heard of them until this very moment. Desperate to try one just because of that picture. Apparently from Lancashire, it's a short crust pastry filled with potatoes and onions. Scored 37.
I mean, I thought Gruyere was a cheese, but Gruyere fits that so well. It has to be Gruyere, doesn't it, for B?
Gougere.
Gougere.
And it's a pointless answer.
Well, there we are. E is spanakopita.
Yeah, a
on
Greek
the tip of my
spinach and
tongue.
feta pie made with phyllo pastries on the tip of your tongue, was it? OK, last one. Come on, you've got the last one.
It is a pork pie.
It is indeed a pork pie.
Look how well
86.
they've filled that. Look at that.
That is dense, isn't it?
No space in there for jelly.
That's dense, yeah.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Here is your second question. Now then, Linda and Hannah, you've got to win this one to stay in the game, but Paul and Gina get to answer it first, so good luck. Our second question is all about statues. Chris.
Nice and simple. We're going to give you 5 clues about statues. Pick the one that you think's the most pointless. Obviously, that's why we're here.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal the 5 statue clues, and here they are. In 2020, a statue of slave trader Edward Colston was torn down and thrown into the harbour of this UK city. J.M. Barrie, title character who has a statue in Kensington Gardens in London. Standing around 600 feet high, the Statue of Unity was unveiled in 2018 in this country. The Venus de Milo statue, displayed at the Louvre, is famously missing these limbs. And the mannequin Pis, a small bronze statue of a boy urinating into a fountain, can be found in this capital city. There we are. Now, Paul and Gina, you get to go first.
There's only kind of one of them.
Just have to go for that then.
You want to go for that one?
Just have to. It's only one we know.
The J.M. Barrie title character will go down as Peter Pan.
Peter Pan, say Paul and Gina. Now then, Linda and Hannah, can you talk us through the board?
Well, we think that the statue of Edward Colston was in Bristol. The Venus de Milo was missing arms. And the statue is...
But maybe Ukraine.
But we're going to go with Bristol.
The top
You're
one.
going to go with
The top
Bristol
one, yeah.
for Edward Colston. So we have Peter Pan versus Bristol. Paul and Gina said Peter Pan. Let's see how many of our 100 said that for the statue in Kensington Gardens. Peter Pan's right. 42 for Peter Pan. Meanwhile, Linda and Hannah have gone for Bristol for the statue of Edward Colston. Let's see how many of our 100 said Bristol. Bristol is right. 48 for Bristol, which means Paul and Gina, very well done. After only 2 questions, you're straight through to the final, 2-0.
Wow. OK, yeah. Not the highest scoring answers on the board there. Xander, do you want to have a turn?
I think the mannequin piece is somewhere in Belgium, I think, or something like that.
Brussels.
It's Brussels for you.
Yeah,
Good.
Brussels. 13, that score. Decent answer there.
The Statue of Unity, I do not know. 600 feet high.
Not many people did know that is in India. Obviously, I knew before it came up on my screen. That's 3.
And obviously, yes, the missing arms is right.
There we are. That's 67. That was the highest one on the board there.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Well, that means the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head rounds, Linda and Hannah. You came in as our low scorers, but you lived to fight again, which is marvellous. So we'll see you again next time. We're looking forward to it already. Linda and Hannah, thank you so much. For Paul and Gina, though, it's now time for the pointless fun. Well, huge congratulations, Paul and Gina. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £4,000. But yes, here we are. It's only one show from Paul and Gina, so we have to make it count. What would you like to see come up?
US presidents.
That's what we swatted on.
Good.
A lot of revising on that, so I wouldn't mind if that came up. And sport, TV, film.
OK, well, let's see. 4 choices, as ever. And today's selection looks like this. Fleetwood Mac, 100 metres sprinters, PG Woodhouse on TV, ferry services in the Scottish Islands.
I'll fancy the sport one.
You can. You. It's on you.
Well, 100-metre sprinters, please.
100-metre sprinters it is. Chris.
OK, we are looking for any of the women who have run the 100 metres in or in under 10.90 seconds, or any of the men who've run the 100 metres in or in under 9.90 seconds in a time that's been officially ratified by the IAAF as of the end of the Athletics World Championships held in August 2023. There's 68 answers on the women's list and 57 answers on the men's list. So what we're looking at essentially is the 68 fastest women and the 57 fastest men of all time at the end of August 2023. Very best of luck to you, and good luck to everyone playing along at home.
Thanks very much, Chris. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. If you can find 3 pointless answers, we'll throw in a £500 bonus. Are you ready?
Ready.
Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Right, for the men, Carl Lewis, Ben Johnson. The woman, Flojo, but I can't remember her full name. If it's Flojo, she had the big long fingernails. American. Another man, I would love to say Alan Wells, but I don't think you got under 10 seconds, to be really honest with you. Another man sprinter. Obvious Usain Bolt.
It's only one I've heard of.
There's a boy Green, somebody Green, I can't remember him. There's a boy, the Beast, that's for Jamaica. Can't remember his name either. Oh, no. This is a sore one. I'll just say these ones, pal. Sorry, OK. Right, I'm sorry.
OK.
Are you happy? Do you want us to stop? Should we stop the clock?
Please, yeah.
OK, there we are. We'll stop the clock for you. Let's have your 3 answers.
Well, for the men, went for Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Men, Carl Lewis.
Carl Lewis.
And the woman,
Floella
Joyner.
Floella Joyner.
Even if it doesn't exist.
Floella Joyner. Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
I'll go for Carl Lewis.
Carl Lewis goes last. Least likely to be pointless?
The girl.
Floella Joyner. And we put Ben Johnson in the
Ben
middle.
Johnson, aye.
OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have Floella Joyner, Ben Johnson, and Carl Lewis. Well, the prize up for grabs is £4,000. If one of these turns out to be pointless, what would you like to do with that? Paul, I'm going to ask you first.
A new set of golf clubs would come in hand.
Well, that'd be
Brilliant.
nice.
Definitely.
Very nice. Gina?
A holiday.
A holiday.
Yes.
There we are. A golfing holiday?
I don't
Maybe
play
not.
golf, so...
Ah, not a golfing holiday. There we are. OK, well, let's put these answers to the test. Your first answer was Floella Joyner. In this case, we're looking for women who've run the 100 metres in under 10.9 seconds. Let's see how many of our 100 said Floella Joyner. Is it right? Is it pointless?
Got me. I knew it.
Oh, bad luck. Not Floella Joyner. We move quickly on to your next answer, Ben Johnson. Let us find out. Slightly different criteria. It's men who've run the 100 metres in under 9.9 seconds. How many of our 100 said Ben Johnson? Might that be right? Might it be pointless? Oh. Bad luck. Your third and final answer was Carl Lewis. Let's see if that is right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Same criteria as Ben Johnson. For £4,000, might Carl Lewis be pointless?
Please no.
Carl Lewis is right.
All right answer.
Flo Jo, I'm afraid, was incorrect. Ben Johnson, I'm afraid, was incorrect. But Carl Lewis, absolutely on the money. Down we go. Through the teens and into single... Oh, not quite into single figures. Down to 10. Very well done. Well, a lovely answer there to finish it off. And 10, lovely low score. But irritatingly, we only accept pointless answers in this last round. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot. But you do, very deservedly, take home today's pointless trophies. So very, very well done indeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, hard luck there. So it wasn't Floella Joyner, it was Florence Griffith Joyner.
Oh.
Yeah, but she wasn't a pointless answer.
Oh, that's fair.
Don't lose any sleep over that, all right? Ben Johnson's time under 9.90 was disqualified. But people said his name anyway in the poll, so also wouldn't have been a pointless answer. And your fellow countryman, Alan Wells' best time was 10.11, so he wouldn't have counted. Let's have a look at some of the pointless answers that you could have had, though, starting with women who have run the 100 metres in under 10.90 seconds. Carmelita Jeter, Merlene Ottey, Sha'Carri Richardson, Sharika Jackson. There were so many more pointless answers here. In fact, everyone was pointless apart from the following who all scored points. Florence Griffith Joyner, Dina Asher Smith, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson-Herah, Gail Devers, Irina Privalova, and Veronica Campbell-Brown. They all scored. Moving on to the men who've run the 100 metres in under 9.90 seconds. Here are some pointless answers that you could have had. Christian Coleman, Marcel Jacobs, Richard Thompson, and the Brit Zarnell Hughes. Fastest ever Brit. Loads of pointless answers here again. The scoring answers were Usain Bolt, obviously, Linford Christie, Carl Lewis, Asifa Powell, Maurice Green, Atto Bolden, Donovan Bailey, Justin Gatlin, Tyson Gay, Johan Blake, and Noah Lyles all scored.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris. Thank you so much, Paul and Gina. I'm sorry you didn't win today's jackpot. That will therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £5,000. Join us then, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Chris.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.